Hey, bear with me. I will explain why I'm telling this story again when I get to the end. When I say again, if you've read my first book, Present, this will not seem new to you. Or if it does seem new, you didn't pay that close attention when you read, maybe. Or my book sucked and it didn't stand out. I mean, that's always possible too. But this is a very real story of a nightmare from when I was a child that I've been re-experiencing in a different means recently. So I think of myself, or see myself rather, I'm walking down a path, a street, if you will, just a little residential street. At least it looks like a residential road, and it's dark, very dark, so dark I can't really see much in front of me, other than seeing these clouds of fog just sinking in down in front of me, creating this void of black in front of me. And it's created by these massive trees that are taller than I can see, but that have these branches that are wilted and hanging down, creating really a tunnel, if you will, on this little street. And there's nothing special about me at that point. I've just got some basic clothes and a shirt on. Kind of not sure why I have no shoes at this point, whether it was intentional or unintentional, but I'm barefoot walking down this street, and there's this crunching and crackling of, sun-dried leaves that are orange and yellow and red and brown, that cover a bunch of the street. For those people who are from the New England area, you're probably familiar with that particular sound, but it's crunching and crackling, and it's just darkness and this sound. And I look around and I spin around, and I have no idea what's going on, how I got here, where I'm headed, why I'm here in this, what seems to be eternal blackness. But I just start putting one foot in front of the other and walk a little while. I have no idea. Time is kind of relative in some of these things. And I get to an ingress, if you will, an inlet in the darkness that sort of turns onto this property. And it's this long, like cobblestone, gravelly driveway that goes, I don't know where, but it likewise is kind of dark, and it just is inviting because it's the only thing other than darkness that I can see. And so my brain just says, well, we might as well go this way since we have no idea where anything else goes. So in I go, walk in a little ways, and my feet, are very dirty and scuffed up from walking along the surface with no shoes like an idiot. Having to climb over granite rocks and under, tree branches to continue going forward. I don't know how they got there. There's not more trees. There's not, mountainous stone, but I'm having to traverse all of these things in order to just continue going forward away from the darkness that I was in. And after a while of climbing and trying to get through what, now that I think about it, seemed like intentional deterrence, I come upon this palace, this massive palace, citadel, castle, call it what you will. This tall, dark, smothered in windows, up high, palace on a hill. And there's still nothing else around but this. So I thought, well, maybe if I go there, someone will be there. They can help me figure out where I am or what I'm doing, where I'm going. So I go. That's what I do. I go and I walk up to it, and it's a little weird that the base of the building is very coarse stone, but there's no doors or windows at that level. As high as my hand can reach, I still can't reach the base of where the main body of this palace is that has windows and doors. It's like a foundation to a basement, I guess is the best way to put it. And I walk around the outside just feeling, and nothing is there. There's no opening. How does anybody get into this fucking place is basically what I'm thinking. And I'm like, I'm smarter than this. There's got to be some way in, unless this is just a really monstrous statue, which would be rude. So I decide, my eyes maybe are playing tricks on me. I don't know where I came up with the idea, but I close my eyes and get my breathing under control and just listen and smell. And I reach my hands out and lightly run my fingers across this stone, and my fingers come by this little inlet, this maybe the wrong word for it because I've already sort of talked about an inlet, but this little break, if you will, somewhere in the stone that I couldn't see, and this gush of wind, like a door, an airlock door opening, bursts in front of my face, and I just sort of take a leap of faith, take a couple steps forward into what should have been the wall, but I don't hit brick. I don't run face first or walk face first into a hard surface. I take a couple steps forward and hear what sounds like a door closing behind me. I open my eyes and am shocked, just absolutely shocked to find this completely pristine inner sanctum that's so much more than any kind of a ballroom or vintage castle that you would ever think of. It's elegant, I guess is the best way to put it. There's what appears to be light coming from, crystal chandeliers. I just associate that with what the light looked like because I could see no goddamn chandeliers. I couldn't see where light was coming from at all. But the floor I was on was magnificent and illuminated and looked like marble. And I turn around and look on the wall, and there's these inscriptions like hieroglyphs that tell this story, maybe of where I am. I don't know. I don't speak that fucking shit. And it's just amazing. As I look around, I was like, this is just astonishing. I call out, hello, is there anybody there? There's this massive echo because it's a huge place that seems to never end. I look up and you can't even see the ceiling. The ceiling is so high up that my eyes cannot find it. Still don't know where this fucking light is coming from. But eventually, as I'm, lifting my jaw back up off the ground from what I see, there's a spiral staircase off to the right. And, I step over to go towards the staircase, and a few steps in, I catch a reflection off to my right side. So I turn to the right and look, and there's a whole panel of wall randomly that is this wonderful old mirror. And, here I am, 40, bushy beard. I turn and look at it, but I don't see me, at least not me as you're seeing me. I see 8-year-old me with the widow's peak and the curly brown hair and the bright blue eyes, little pudgy fucker in just plain clothes, staring into this mirror. It kind of baffles me because I haven't been that in a while. But I'm too caught up in what's going on to really give it too much of a thought. So I continue back over to my left, over to the spiral staircase, and I start walking up. And we walk up, and we walk up, and we walk up, and we walk up, and we walk up. And you're thinking, God, how much of this fucking we walk up are we going to do? Well, it's a lot. It's a lot. I must go for 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I'll lose track of time. Walking up. I have to stop every so many steps to catch my breath, winded. I finally get to the top of these fucking stairs, and I have to just hunch over like, oh my God. Gotta catch my breath. I mean, I feel 40 even though I saw 8-year-old me. I just winded at the top of these stairs, and I finally bring my head back up, and there's a fucking like wooden camp placard that says, welcome to the 13th floor. I guess somewhere in my head that's made its way into the fucking dream now, because that's what I remember when I do it, or when I see it. Welcome to the 13th floor. I'm like, 13th floor? It did not take me all this goddamn time to go 13 floors. 13. I have to count these bitches when I go back down, because there's no way it's fucking 13 floors. That's whoo, 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 some bullshit. Anyways, I got two choices. I can go right or I can go left. And I have a rule when I go to see a movie that I always go to the left, because every time I go to the right, it doesn't matter what the movie is, I end up hating it. So I always go to the left. I might still hate it, but I never go to the right anymore. And so I go to the left in the stream, and and there's just this long dark hallway. And I say long dark hallway because I don't know what else it could be. It could be a long dark catwalk. I can't see the end of it, but it's just this corridor of dark, that's now in front of me. So I start stepping forward, and it's a little chilly. I'd already had sort of my hairs stand up a couple times on this trip, and I just, there's nothingness in this fucking dark corridor again. It's fucking just nothing all the time. So decided to do like I did outside, close my eyes, and I just run my fingers along the wall, letting it trail behind me. Just the fingertips running across this like smooth, surface, and suddenly, poof, it catches these little dips, and they were hidden doors into rooms. So I started going into them one by one. You go into a door and fucking nothing, just emptiness. No windows, nothing. For all the windows I saw outside, there are no goddamn windows. It's just nothing, pitch black, nothing. Emptiness of my soul, I don't know. Come back out, and walk along to the next one. Another secret room, go in, fucking nothing. And I do this over and over and over, thinking eventually I'm going to have to find somebody somewhere, right? Or something. What are the chances to be a telephone? Holy crap, wouldn't that be great? But I come out, and it's where the real fun begins. I step back out of the room into the long corridor, and there's this freezing cold air that just punches me in the chest. And I just takes the wind right out of me. It's so cold, and it shivers right down from my neck all the way down to my ankles. Frigid cold out of nowhere. And I hear this ding of a fucking elevator sliding open in the distance back from where I came. So I look, and this figure, this being, this thing, sort of saunters, glides, doesn't step. I've never seen any feet on this thing. It just glides out into the hallway, looks over at me, and it's got this long, greasy, drenched black hair in an old tattered graduation gown and a big brimmed hat, with a hood pulled up over the back, and it just sort of raises its head, and you see these demented fire and brimstone eyes set into this dark gray, dead fleshy skin with these razor blade teeth, black blood in its veins, leaving marks all down its chin, looking down at me from the other end. And it takes a long breath in, and as it lets it back out, that's when that frigid cold air that nearly froze me in place comes back out with its breath. And it has this sort of wheezing, grunting sound to it. It's got a scar over one of its eyes. It's fucking ugly is what it is. You can see just at the end of where the arm sleeves would be, it's got these long, skinny, crackly, broken looking talons for hands with these long knives for fingernails. It's just fucking hideous is what it is. And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at me, and I'm looking at the top of the stairs. And we got about the same distance to go, and I have no idea where else I could be going. The only ways out of here that I'm aware of are the elevator that motherfucker just came out of, and these stairs that I walked up forever and ever and ever. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm out, son. I gotta run. Go dash for the fucking stairs. And I do. And I get there, and this dude's taking his fucking time. I say his, I don't know if it's a him or a her. It takes its fucking time. It just sort of floats through air, gliding. It doesn't step, it doesn't bounce, it doesn't anything. It just glides like it's going toward the stairs, but it's gonna get there way after me. So I got a leg up. I don't know how I'm gonna find the door back out, but fuck, I'm gonna do something. So I go running down the stairs, and I get 2 steps down the stairs, and suddenly I scream like a banshee. Just fucking terrible. Fucking awful pain shoots up from the soles of my feet right into my legs. I almost topple head over feet. It hurts so bad, and I look down, my fucking bare feet are bleeding, and there's like ropes of thorns, almost like barbed wire created by strings of ivy with razor blades on them, essentially plant thorns wrapped over every single step that's in front of me. And I look and I mean, I can't see how far down it is. I couldn't see how far up it was from the bottom. But all I see are thorns, and my choices are now go back to fucking razor blade meth mouth or fucking keep going down. So, fuck it. I mean, I can't jump. I'll definitely die. And homeboy in the back looks like he wants to eat my fucking soul right out of my throat. So I just, I keep going. I go, and I am doing my best, wincing, trying to avoid as many thorns as I can, but it fucking hurts, and I am bleeding, and the pain is shooting up into my knees and into my hips, and I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going, and I'm going. I gotta tell you, I go way more than 13 fucking floors, y'all. It was way more than 13 up, and it was way more than 13 down. And I just keep going and going and going. I don't know how long I was going for. I was going for so long, I was sure I had gone further than I had ever originally gone up. It was that fucking long. And I look back over my shoulders, and I'm like, where is this fucking thing? Where is this fucking thing? And nowhere to be seen. I don't know if he's gliding down. I just disappeared. So I'm like, well, fuck it. If I don't see it, maybe I can take a little bit of my time to try to avoid some more of the steps. And when I turn back around to go back down, poof, I'm on the bottom floor. But it's not the bottom floor I started on. It's not this pristine marble-looking floor with these awesome walls with hieroglyphs. It's dirt. It's dirt covered cement at best. And I look around, and everything's just dark and musty. I don't really see anything but more fucking darkness. It's amazing I'm not afraid of the fucking dark, if we're being honest, with all this fucking darkness that's haunted me my whole life. I start taking some steps forward, and I just don't really see anything. And I'm like, well, I can't really just wait for this motherfucker to catch up to me. So I just start running forward, because I mean, I'll either hit something and go from there, or I'll just keep going to get further away. And I go, and I see this little corner, with some daylight shining behind it, and it dawns on me, I'm in a cellar. I'm in a basement, a really big, shitty dirt basement. So I just I'm like, there's a doorway over there with light coming through. So I just start booking it. And right as I turn the last corner to get there, just searing pain, white hot pain in my chest. I look down, and there is a massive blade stuck right in my chest. And as I slowly look back up, I see this creature just float out from the corner. And massive, almost 7 feet. I mean, 2 people wide, big fucking dude. I mean, I say dude. I keep saying dude. I don't know. It was fucking it. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't see anything that suggested gender. And it's just staring down into my eyes. My welling up, unfucking aware, in total shock eyes with this fucking thing stuck in me. And its eyes just get closer and closer to my face. And there's this red and yellow fire about it, with its just emaciated, fucked up face with black veins. Its teeth have like motor oil dripping from it. and it laughs. And it steps away, pulls the knife out, and along with the blade just comes spurts of blood and coldness coming over my body. And this thing just utters, "You fail me." And the world slowly becomes dark around me as I bleed out pretty promptly. And as it fades to black, that's where the dream ends. And yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream that I had over and over and over as a child, every single night for years, pretty much. I was in therapy, spent a lot of time talking about it in therapy, eventually figured out how to deal with it. But I wanted to share that telling of it, that real life experience of mine with you, because I think it'll better help you understand when I talk about stories like having my wisdom teeth out and the shit I saw while that was happening. And maybe you can imagine what it's like to have that kind of a nightmare while you're under conscious sedation. But this has been a presence in my life for more than 30 years now, and doesn't feel like it's going anywhere anytime soon. It doesn't affect me the way it used to, but yeah, sorry if that fucks you up. It's one of my very many, very real experiences. So I'm sure we'll talk to you folks soon. Thanks for watching.